I think I'm live. Welcome to our August Soul Sanctuary. So I'm so glad that you're here. And first of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to set aside just a little bit of time for yourself. And this is something that you can come back to at any time. You don't have to answer the journaling questions right now. And I would really encourage you to grab a journal, grab your pen, grab any crystals or anything that makes you feel safe, your favorite blanket. Just be comfortable in this space. There's no expectations, there's no right or wrong here. We're just here to connect with ourselves. And this is a program that I love doing. I love teaching shamanic journeying, breathwork, meditation, because it helps us really connect our whole entire lives together, our souls, our spirit, our body, our nervous system, our emotions, our past, our future, all of it comes together with this work with less stress, less energy needed, meaning like you're not exerting yourself to the point where you're making yourself sick to do this work, where we're just allowing things to flow. So, this morning, I was really inspired, so I highly recommend the book, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and I've been reading it. And of course, Book Talk taught me to get out matching tabbies that match the color of the book, and it's just been fabulous. And I'm only on week 4, and I've been doing my morning pages every morning. And I was writing this morning, I said, I was waiting for this aha moment breakthrough, because it's teaching you how to be tuning into yourself, be creative. And I'm like, come on, where's my aha moment? I want I'm going to be this amazing author or, something. And I was like, wait, my creativity, my passion, my love of life is here in this type of work in soul sanctuary and shamanism and functional medicine. And man, I want the world to know that. And that's why I wanted to do this event for free this time, because I really am inspired to share this with you. And then I would invite you to join me at the Chakra Healing Room in Wentzville, Missouri, where I am teaching classes and doing shamanic Reiki and journeying sessions and functional medicine as well now. So I will make sure to put those links in here so you'll get access to that as well. And of course, I have to look at my notes to make sure that we stay on task. So I realized that when I plan things, and this might go for you as well, I'm a planner. I have lists and lists and lists for my list type of person. Even when I wrote my first 2 soul sanctuaries, I was like, everything has to be perfect and written out. And the more that I do this type of work and teach these classes, I'm like, no, I want to go with the flow. I want to feel into what you need and allow you to come through the energy so we can really cater this. I so strongly believe in personalized care, individualized plans, especially in functional medicine. But the same goes with Reiki and energy work and shamanic work. It's really important that we embrace what's in the moment. And the other part of this is I've been having a really powerful experience over the past few weeks. And I really love therapy when you find the right therapist. I really love internal family systems as I guess you would call it a course or a certification. You have to be trained in these things, and it's about parts work. And my therapist uses this as well. And parts work is so closely related to shamanism. And I wanted to give you my example right now, because this is kind of where I want to lead us today. So, and I'm going to be really personal here with you as well, which is a little scary, but I'm talking to my therapist and I'm like, oh my God, my insomnia is so bad. And I've been waking up at 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning, because now I have my bag, I have to empty my bag, and then I go back to bed, and my brain is just like smattering me with all of these horrible thoughts. Like, everybody hates you, you're the worst person on the face of the planet, and just berating me. And if it's not berating me, it's thinking of all of these horrible things or really bad memories, or, just, hey, remember that time in 5th grade when you had the wrong answer, just things like that, like really triggering, that just were really upsetting and really intrusive thoughts as well. And you might relate to that. Like, you might be thinking everything's okay, and then boom, you get hit with like, oh my God, something really bad, something really negative. And we were talking about that. And in the therapist world, the IFS world, it's like, okay, well, that's a part of you that's really hurting. What happened to that part that is coming out to share this information with you? What is the benefit of this information? What is the benefit of this part having these thoughts? Is it a protector part? And when we combine this type of work on the therapy side with the shamanic work and journeying, you can journey and talk to these parts. So as I was talking to my therapist, I had the visualization of a vampire coming up. And I'm like, oh, it's a vampire. And it had its cloak around, right? Like, and I would try to talk to it and would hiss at me and go back under. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously we don't get to work with that part today. It does not want to be dealt with or seen. And she had a really great suggestion of just, okay, can you sit with it? Can you like maybe create a home for it? Can you just let that part know that you see it and you're there for it, and whatever happens, and then start asking simple questions. Like, don't back that part into a corner, but maybe you can ask like, hey, what's your name? Are you male or female, non-binary? Like, who are you? When were you created? And as we started asking those questions, it came out and said, my name's Allie, which is my childhood name. And I was like, oh, Allie, that means it's a really young part. And it took me a while to do the homework, which is okay, right? And that's why I said, write down the questions, but you don't have to have the answers right now. This is a work that takes time to come to, just like with therapy, physical therapy, emotional therapy, all of this stuff. We don't have to have answers right away. So as I sat with this part, even just subconsciously, like, okay, I see you. I know who you are. I see that you're hurting. All those bad thoughts stopped. Now, I still had insomnia, but instead of like laying there and spiraling or spinning or my brain yelling at me, it was just quiet, which was almost just as bad. Insomnia is pretty insufferable, isn't it? But to not have those braiding thoughts and those fear and that panic was amazing. And I have so many journals. And so I did journal, and I asked her, and my first question was, what's your favorite color? That was my first question, because I already knew her name. I knew who it was. And I got out my red pen because I thought, oh, she's a vampire. She's going to like blood. She's going to like red. No, pink. What, pink? Oh, you're a really young part. And, what's your favorite movie? Do you have a favorite show? What's your favorite game to play? What's your family like? Do you like books? All these things. And as we just kept talking, we built this rapport, and I got so many answers to why little Allie the vampire, was saying all these negative things to me, and hurtful things and harmful things. And it was really amazing. And as we work with these parts, and really it was a journey, like a awake meditation / shamanic journey to this part. Some people like left-handed writing to answer questions. I can't read my normal handwriting, so I just use a different color. So whatever you choose to do, that's great as well. But now that big scary part, the vampire hissing at me and like, oh my God, I'm going to be destroyed by this part, really came forward into her true self as a little mini 3-year-old vampire who really likes a Batman costume. I don't know why Batman. I can't even tell you that I grew up liking Batman. I think I did, actually, with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. That was one of my favorite movies. But and now she's just running around and having fun and playing, and I have a good relationship with that part. And when I go and journey or meditate or even just check in with that part, she's zooming around. She's got her cape. She's a superhero instead of being this like adult damaged, scary. I gotta make sure that we keep Alison down and small and scared and worthless. No, we've really embraced each other, and it's been a beautiful part. And I would love for you to really connect with yourself in that way. Part of that is because I hate toxic positivity. And when I work with people who are in the wellness world or the holistic world or the energy world, they really want to block all the negative, ignore it, just no, we're going to say affirmations and we're not going to admit that we're sick or we're tired or things are bad or scary. No, we're just going to positively affirm our way out of negative situations. Just change your mindset. And it's like, this doesn't work. That is toxic. It's harmful to ignore the parts of us that are hurting because they're hurting for a reason. And when we ignore it, we keep ourselves in dangerous situations, toxic relationships, toxic work environments. We don't take care of ourselves with our body, our food, our movement, our sleep habits. We're not able to take care of our family. So it's important that we connect deeply with ourselves and really examine the hurting parts, the scary parts, the parts that we don't want to deal with. And if you don't want to do this by yourself, you don't have to. You can find a therapist who does internal family systems, EMDR, trauma informed. Like there's so many different things that we can do that you can get support with so you're not alone. So that being said, our card today from the Shaman's Dream Oracle, which is one of my favorites, is number 19, Falling Angel. Spiritual narcolepsy. And it says, you are being cautioned now to not fall asleep or go unconscious. You have been flying above the strife and suffering of the world in angelic bliss. However, you risk being seduced by the beauty and comfort of your situation and losing track of your aspirations, your wings. As you fall, you pick up speed, heading towards the trees below and a possible nasty landing. Remember that all you need to do to stop being a falling angel is spread your wings to halt your descent and then find an updraft again. Do not be seduced by the fallen angels, your supposed friends and companions who are ready to use you for their pleasure and have only their interests in mind. As you soar once more in flight, receive the gift of falling angel as an invitation to study the forest from above the trees. In other words, to analyze your situation from a higher perspective without being entangled in its thorny branches. Once you understand what needs to be done, head back to your lofty heights and stand by for the right moment. Action you take now may backfire. Stay conscious and wait until you are guided to change. You will know when the time is ripe. So what a great message for today, because like I said, like you might be enmeshed in a part of you or a soul fragment, whatever you want to call it, that's really hurting, or you're getting caught up in the drama of others and you're really taking the blame or taking the hit or the punishment of other people's emotions or even your own emotions. And we need to rise above, separate, because the drama is not you. The drama is external to you, and we need to really separate and look at that, as well as making sure that we're not falling victim or prey to other people's agendas as well. Analyze your situation from a higher perspective without being entangled in its thorny branches. Once you understand what needs to be done, like I said, it takes time. Head back to your lofty heights and stand by for the right moment. So that's why I love the morning pages. Every morning you're supposed to wake up and write 3 pages. Sometimes I get all the way to 3. It's really hard. You know what? That 3rd page is where the magic comes through, honestly. So keep going, keep journaling, keep asking these questions. And again, you can ask these questions and come back at a later time. Let them simmer. Just like when I talked to that part, I was like, maybe you list all the parts or all the emotions that you're feeling and go, where is this coming from? Who is this part? What is my mind, my body, and my soul trying to tell me and communicate to me? And sit with it. And don't expect answers right away, because nothing needs to be immediate, and you're still okay in this moment. All right. So knowing that, I want to keep the same questions from all our soul sanctuaries, which is, what do I want to invite into my life for the next month, the next quarter, the rest of the year? What are the key areas of my life where I want to focus my energy and attention? How can I align my actions with my values and aspirations? What steps can I take to move closer to my goals and intentions? And let's change this last one of, what parts of me need to be acknowledged, heard, loved, and connected? Because there's parts of you that are looking for that connection to you, that want to be heard, that need you. Oh, hold on. It doesn't like that I put so many questions in. I'm trying to put it in the chat for us. All right. So there's focus, energy, and attention. And then you can write these in the journal. Again, you don't have to answer them now. And maybe our today's meditation and journey will help you guide towards these. Okay, there's our 3 questions to start. So what I'd like you to do right now, if you can, if you want, if you have them, is to grab maybe some essential oils. So we're going to do a little bit of breath work. And whenever I do breath work, I like to take my breathe oil and put it around my nose. As long as you're not sensitive and your skin doesn't be bothered by it, or maybe you like eucalyptus or peppermint or supermint, but my go-to is always breathe, and sometimes on my chest as well, just because I'm more open, and then I'm not so sinusy. The other oils that I'm going to use today is balance, just because we're feeling emotional. I am. All of my parts are like, oh, we did a lot of work this week. We did a lot of connecting. And then my favorite one that I'm obsessed with for the past year, which is the Shinrin-yoku, the Forest Bathing Blend. This one I love to diffuse because it's so calming, so gentle. It just smells like the forest. I like to put it on my wrist because that's where our blood vessels are really close to the skin. You could put it behind your ears, on your feet, whatever works for you, or even just smell it right out of the bottle. You don't have to apply them if you don't want to. Perfect. So let's do some easy breath work, okay? Nothing scary. You're not going to be holding your breath for a while. And that always scares me with breath work when people are like, you're going to hold your breath for 5 minutes. No. I just want you to connect with your body and just calm down, because I just gave a lot of information at you right at once. And your brain might be going, oh, yeah, I can answer these questions. So let's just take a couple deep breaths in through your nose and then out of your mouth. Get it all out. Let's do one more. And then I'm going to challenge you. You're going to put one hand on your chest. And you can't see it, but you have one hand on your belly. And I can even see it in the camera. I'm doing it wrong. So what I want you to really focus on, and maybe I probably even need to just lean back here. I want you to really breathe into your belly. So you see my shoulders going up and down, and my chest is kind of moving. I really want you to get into this belly breath. So just take a deep breath in through your nose. And now your belly expand, and then all the way out. Maybe your hands need to be lower. Mine needs to be lower. All the way out. One of the pranayama practices, let's focus on that one today, is that you breathe into your belly first. And then you breathe into your belly and then kind of up into your ribs a little bit higher. And out. So our goal right now is to breathe into belly and up into our lower ribs. You're going to really have to relax your low back, your pelvis, your legs. And let's do one more. Really feel that expansion of your ribs going out to the sides and also front and back. We really want that 360 of your breathing. So one, you have more oxygen in your system. You're getting a full breath. You're taking some stress off of your shoulders. And then we'll go all the way up. So we're going to breathe into our belly, expand our lower ribs, and then let our chest come out as well. So all the way into your belly, lower ribs, and then chest, all the way out. That's a long breath. And it's hard to do this breath work while we're talking as well. So take a deep breath in and shake it off. Okay, let's do that again. Deep into the belly, then focus on expanding the rib cage as you continue to breathe in, and then expanding the chest. So when you're ready, deep breath in through your nose into the belly, ribs, chest, all the way out. Let's do that 2 more times. And keep your shoulders down and relaxed. And you can go as slow or as fast as you want with that as well. Slower the better, obviously. And that way you're really focusing on connecting. Now, if you ever have any trouble breathing through your nose, again, oils, tissues, whatever you need. And then the other thing we're going to end with is the bumblebee breath, which is really easy to do. So you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and you're going to hum as you breathe out through your nose. So you're going to feel that vibration in your sinuses in your nose, and that increases nitric oxide, which opens up the blood vessels. So you're going to have more oxygenation. You're going to move your immune system through your nose. It's going to be clearing for your lymphatics, and you're going to be able to breathe better. So take a deep breath in, and then hum on your exhale through your nose. Deep breath in, hum on your exhale. And sometimes I find I have to change pitch, like really low, medium, or sometimes high. And that will give me different variances of how open my sinuses become. So let's do 2 more because it's a little relaxing. It's a little fun. Deep breath in. All the way out. Good job. So you might find that you can breathe in longer, breathe out longer. You can't breathe out as long. So the more that you practice this, the easier it becomes of all of the different pranayama practices that we do throughout this event over the next few months, things like that. And I'll tell you what, when I start my daily breath work, I can only do like short breaths in, short breaths out. And then slowly as I practice and my body becomes more accustomed to, oh yeah, we have to relax. We have to do belly breathing. It gets easier. So now our body's relaxed, we're connected. I'd really like you to just take a second And we're just going to take a quick meditation here, just a quieting of the mind. Maybe some things come up that you want to journal down, and maybe a thought or something like a to-do list. That always happens to me is when I start meditating, it's like, oh, don't forget to call, don't forget to pay this bill, don't forget. So have your journal out with you. So let's just quiet our minds. As we take those deep breaths in, maybe you want to grab an oil to smell as we do this and calm our body. Let me have you close your eyes and just breathe normally. There's no pressure to change anything or do anything here. We're just going to take about 2 minutes. And what I want you to do as we sit here quietly, calming our bodies and our mind, is do a quick body scan. Maybe start at your head. Check in with your facial muscles. Are your forehead scrunched? How does your jaw feel? Is it relaxed? Is it tight? How about your neck? And feel free to move and stretch as well. How's your throat feel? Does it feel constricted or open? And we're talking on a physical and energetic level as well. How are your shoulders? Are they up to your ears? Are they tight? Are they tense? Are they down and relaxed? Same with your chest muscles. Are they pulling you forward, hunched forward? Go down your arms into your hands. Maybe you can even open and close your hands a little bit. Let's go down into our chest. How about your heart? How does that feel? Your lungs, your belly, your abs. Down deeper into below your belly button, your intestines, your pelvic floor. Are you tight? Are you holding in? Can you take a deep breath in? Relax that pelvic floor. Scan down your legs, down to your knees, down to your feet. Maybe same thing with your toes. Flex and contract. And just note any parts that are feeling really constricted, uncomfortable, painful. No judgment, just notice. Because we're going to use this information. Okay. Good job. So what I want you to do is open up your eyes and write down 5 questions you have about your parts, your soul parts, and any emotions that are coming up or thoughts. What parts of your body, physically or energetically, have pain, tightness, constriction? That's all I want you to do. So we're going to really get into our body and allow our body to speak to us through our parts and what's living there. So for me right now, I'm feeling a lot of tightness, constriction in my throat, shoulders, and neck. If you're feeling it in your knees, that's okay. It doesn't matter where you're feeling it. Just notice it. And what we're going to do I think where the energy is leading me is let's do a mini journey. We're going to do 2. So we're going to come to our meeting place, which is what I call it, where we are in the spirit world with the world tree, where you can meet with your spirit guides, ancestors, allies, spirit animals, whoever comes forward for you. And the world tree is there. And then we'll just sit there for a moment and connect. And I have my drum and my rattle with me to bring us into that as well. And then what we're going to do after we get comfortable in our meeting place is internally journey to the part that doesn't feel 100%, wherever that is for you. And maybe it's a chakra, maybe it's a joint, maybe it's an organ, maybe it's just a feeling. And we'll go in and see what's there. Talk to that part, the physical part, or is there something there that needs to be cleared away? My meeting place is where I take everybody, and this is what I teach in my class at the Shamanic, at the Chakra Healing Center, is in a field of wheat. So I would invite you there. If you've never done this work before, you don't have your own place to go when you meditate or when you journey. My space has been cleared and is protected for everyone to come in and use. And as you create your own, and I would highly encourage you to create your own space as well. So what I'm going to have you do is close your eyes. Take some deep breaths in, and I'm going to walk you through this. And as you hear the drum, I want it to take you deeper and deeper into a meditative state. And I want you to find yourself in the field of wheat. And in front of you, you see a campfire off in the distance. And you start walking towards it. And as you arrive at the campfire, you notice that there's seating all around. And you grab a seat. And you look up and you see the world tree in front of you with its huge trunk and its branches spreading high into the sky, reaching up for what seems like forever. And you feel the peace and tranquility of this spot, the safeness, the warmth. And we sit together and gaze into the fire. And at this time, if you would like to call in a guide to join you on this journey, You may do that now. And we ask only those who are for our highest good and our highest protection to join us. And we remember that we are always in control and we are always safe in this space. And I would like you, if you can, to tell your guide what is bothering you, what part of your body is hurting. And let any sounds that may be around you or in this recording to let you go deeper and deeper into this relaxation, into this meditative state. Every sound around you brings you deeper and deeper. And ask your guides if they will journey with you to this part of you that is hurting or tight or constricted or just not feeling good. And maybe they have a way for you to access this or something that they want to say to you about this journey. You can write it down or remember it if you need to. And we're going to imagine that as we sit here and our bodies sit in this space, we can shrink ourselves down with our guides and meet in our third eye, that pineal gland. I always like to start, or maybe you like to start at the crown, the top of your head. And I want you to stand there, about to embark on this journey. And in front of you, there's an elevator, and you push the down button. The doors open, and you and your guides, or whoever accompanies you, steps into this elevator. And as you look down, you see the large panel with all of the places this elevator can take you. And you choose the part that you want to explore today, and you press that button. The doors close, and you feel yourself moving down into that part. You hear the elevator ding and the doors open, and you step out into this area of your body. And I want you to take a look around. And we can start with the basics of, is it dark? Is it light? Is it a place like a jungle or a city or a room? Are there people or animals or things that exist in this space? Is it hot or is it cold? Is it humid? Is it muggy? Is it snowing? Is it raining? And it might not be any of those things. It might be a wide blank canvas. Whatever you see in this moment is right for you. Don't judge it. And as you explore this space that's hurting, or constricted, doesn't feel good. I want you to see if you can envision, imagine, or meet this part, whether it shows up as the physical part, like the organ or the joint. Maybe you meet a younger part of yourself or a future part of yourself. And just say hello and introduce yourself. Let them know that you see them. You see the pain, the discomfort, the emotions that you feel with this part when you visit it. And you may or may not get answers, and that's okay, because you can come back at any time to this part. You can ask this part if it has a name, if it has an age, if it has a memory that it's carrying and replaying over and over. What does this part want you to know about it? Why it's in pain? And if it's not answering, remember my questions go back. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? Maybe you sit down and play with this part. Get out some coloring books or some paint. Play in a sandbox. Maybe just give it a hug. Let you know that you see it, you hear it, you validate it. It's okay that it feels the way that it feels. You feel that tension. And I really want you to embrace this part with love, compassion. Release any judgment, shame, fear, blame, guilt. There's no right or wrong or good or bad here. There is just is. It is what it is. It is just itself. And we can learn from this part. And as we close, you can ask your part or have your guides ask, what can I do for you today to help you feel your best, to comfort you? If you want to hit pause here, you can. If you would like to spend more time. If you're ready to leave, you can say thank you to this part for allowing you in, for sharing its information, and working with you, because we want to be partners with all of our parts, all of our soul parts. Maybe you clean up the space for it a little bit, maybe tidy up or cut down any overgrowth or things that are in the way, so it has its space, a comfortable home to live and rest. And as we say goodbye, we go back to the elevator and hit that up button. You and your guide step into the elevator, and as you turn around, you wave goodbye to that part. And that part smiles at you and waves goodbye. And you hit that top button as we journey back up through our body to our crown chakra. And step back out into your body that's still in our meeting place by that fire. You just had an experience with your body and parts of you that needed some attention and love, compassion and care. So I'd like to give you some time to talk with your guides and ask any questions, gain any insights, or support that you need to support that part. What can you do for you today and going forward to allow yourself to heal physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally? And as you hear the drum, we're going to close out our session and thank our guides for being there with us. Knowing that we can come back at any time. And you stand up, thanking the circle. As you walk away and come back into your body. Open your eyes. Deep breaths in. Welcome back. It's always hard to come back. I like being in that space with you. Ah, beautiful. So if you need to take a minute to write anything down, please do. If you had any experiences, information, guidance, this is a time to do that. And I'm going to put in the chat our last journal question. What inspired you today? What motivation, ideas, journeys were you invited on? Do you feel released? Do you feel heavier and more somber because of this experience? Whatever happened, know that's what you needed today. Because remember, we don't want to fall unconscious, right? We don't want to ignore the parts that are hurting, the parts that are playing, the parts that are dreaming. We don't want to suppress the hurt or the pain. We want to understand it and integrate it and process it and heal it so we can feel whole and be whole and live our true, authentic selves. And that is our goal. That is our goal. So, action you take now is important. Stay conscious. Wait until you are guided to change. You will know when the time is ripe. So, whatever that part of you wanted, and whatever your guides may have instructed you to do, and it could be very simple. When I talked to my smaller part, I said, "What can I do for you?" She said, "Watch cartoons." So I turned on one of my favorite childhood movies, Robin Hood from Disney, the cartoon one, and just relaxed. Maybe it's drawing, maybe it's movement, maybe it's taking a nap. Whatever that is, I really want to encourage you to follow through on it over the next few days, ideally the next week when you have time to integrate to this part. So thank you for being here and joining me on this journey. I so appreciate this. This gives me so much joy and love for you and for the work that you're doing. And I would encourage you to join us again for September's Soul Sanctuary online. And if you're not local, if you are local and want to join us at the Chakra Healing Room, I'll drop the link here in the description of the video so you can. We have many Reiki practitioners. I do shamanic journeys and Reiki as well, functional medicine, like I said. So join us. They have lots of classes, lots of unique individuals, and I'm so glad that you can be part of our community. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.